In this video, we're going to be diving deep into Ecomi and why I think this might be the best NFT platform in all of cryptocurrencies. And I am absolutely dead serious when I say that. In this video, we're going to be interviewing the infamous COO of Ecomi today, and I'm going to be asking him a lot of interesting questions, and a handful of these actually came from you guys, the community. So if you want to learn why Ecomi is absolutely the best NFT platform to get involved with, this video is for you. If you are new here and haven't done so already, consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. And of course, we are doing a Ledger Nano S giveaway. So if you want to enter into this, simply leave a like and comment on this video, and you are entered in for your chance to win a Ledger Nano S. And I will be announcing the next winner this Saturday coming up. Okay, no more wasting your time. Let's jump right into the interview. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you as always for tuning in. Today we have a very special guest. We are currently sitting with Dan Crothers, the COO and co-founder of Ecomi. How are you doing today, Dan?
Doing very well, thanks, Ryan. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so we brought Dan on the channel today to talk about Ecomi, the absolute explosive growth they've been having right now, and also just to give you guys a good idea as to what they are and probably what major things we could be seeing coming up with them as well. So Dan, I want to just start off by getting an idea as to how you got into this industry, you know, a little bit of your backstory, and then also if you can go into how Ecomi got started.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, quick background on myself. I've basically been an entrepreneur for the past 24, 25 years, starting out in, web and software development in my early days. Always been very fascinated with UI, UX, and, producing great tech products for people. Through that, I got involved into a number of different businesses. And then around, I guess it would be 5 or 6 years ago now, I sold one of my businesses, was living in Mexico with some friends. And, we thought, what should we do? And then one of our friends said, hey, why don't you buy a Bitcoin? And then that was basically the descent into, the crypto and blockchain world. And I think I did a year of trading, which was both fun and stressful at the same time. Then, being an entrepreneur, we were always looking for opportunities in the space. And, the first product we got into was our hardware wallet that is still available for sale today. And then when CryptoKitties came out, we identified the opportunity that this could be the next ultimate, disruptive opportunity in the collectible space. And so we really just sort of set about from there, creating VeVe.
Now, great story, by the way. And out of curiosity, when, if you don't mind sharing, when was that first time you bought your first Bitcoin?
Yeah, sure. It was 2017, and I wish I brought 10 times the amount I brought.
Hey, that's a great start. I actually bought mine first in early 2017 as well. Early 2017, actually, to buy a fake ID. I know it was a bad idea then, but I spent like I think $300 on it, and Bitcoin was 800 bucks at the time. So obviously that cost me like 15, 20 grand today, but oh well, I got to experience the transactions and all that. But regardless of that, I actually wanted to ask, what is the difference between Ecomi and VeVe for those not familiar?
Right. So basically, Ecomi is the company. VeVe is one of Ecomi's two products. One being this hardware secure wallet, two being VeVe the app. So.
Okay.
So we don't really ever advertise Ecomi or anything like that. VeVe in the App Store is VeVe. The website's VeVe. It's all branded as VeVe. Likewise with the secure wallet.
So is this sort of like a joint venture between both of you?
No. It's just there's basically one company, and
Okay.
that company has two products.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
one app and one hardware product.
So for those not familiar, just to give you guys a brief overview, Ecomi is bringing digital collectibles into the space in a crazy unique way. Obviously, the main standout about them is that they're able to get crazy licensing for different characters and stuff that no other company in the industry has been able to get. And also, you guys have really neat augmented reality. So, can you talk a little bit about some of the most unique features you think you offer compared to the competition?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from our point of view, we didn't really design this from a technology perspective. We designed it for collectors. We saw the opportunity for people to be able to collect in a different way. And for those of you that don't know, the collectible industry is $300 billion a year. So, there's a lot of people out there collecting. And, our philosophy is that everyone is a fan of something. Um, Sorry, I got sidetracked there. What was the question again?
I wanted to
Oh yeah,
know. So
yeah, the
yes,
main features in
yeah.
the app. Yeah. So for us, it was about creating a product that had features that collectors would like, and so really, we didn't want to recreate the collectible experience. We just took what fans already know and love in the real world, which is collecting their favorite brands, collecting limited edition items, being able to show them off and look at them and interact with them, take photos and videos, and then also set them up in their rooms. So we wanted to take all of that experience from the physical world and bring it into the digital space, which is why you can purchase beautifully rendered 3D models of your favorite brands. You can view them in augmented reality. And when in AR, you can take photos, and very soon you can take videos. You can share them to our social feed in the app, which has had like more than 20,000 posts to it in the past couple of months. Um, and then in addition to that, you can set up your own virtual showrooms where you get to place all your collectibles, which are beautiful 3D models, in the same way that you would if you had collectibles in your room or on your desk. So yeah, really we didn't really invent anything new. We just worked out a great way to translate what people love already about collecting and compress that into a really nice way to do it in the digital space. And I think that's our main um, sort of advantage that we have right now is really serving the collectors and hitting all those emotional triggers.
And I'm not positive if you touched on this, but you also have like interactive games that you can play with your actual collectibles, right?
That isn't in the version 1 that we have now, but it is 100% coming out this year. Some of your viewers may have seen we've got some video out, early preview video out of our DeLorean time machine, where you can
Yeah, I did
scale it
see that. That was
like,
very
yeah.
cool.
So that's cool. So we're still putting the final touches on that, but what we want to move to is absolutely interactive. Really, what we're terming them in house now is digital toys,
Hmm.
because they are collectible, they are limited edition, but that driving that DeLorean around is a lot of fun. So
Absolutely.
and that's the whole thing. We want people to be able to use the collectibles once they own them.
Hmm. And me personally, I'm a supporter of NFTs. I don't own any personally. I actually think I'm gonna try to get one of the Ultraman that you have coming out. I'm gonna try.
Good
Um,
luck.
Thanks. It's on my birthday actually, so maybe I have a little extra luck. But yeah, I'm a supporter of NFTs, but honestly, like over the past couple of months, you have all these platforms coming out. I'm sure you know about Beeple, and I actually wanted to ask your opinion on that. But the main issue I was seeing us sort of have is there's no real utility to them right now. You own the NFT, you can look at it, you can trade it with other people, but you can't really do anything else. With you guys, you can actually, like you said, set up your own showroom, get super creative, play mini games, swap them with other people. I think that is the absolute direction that we need to go in for this industry. And I'm glad you guys are, you've been working on this for what, almost 4 years now?
Yeah, three solid years on VV.
Yeah, I love to hear that because unfortunately, I mean, there's so many companies that popped up out of the blue to jump on the hype train, but you guys are
Mm.
genuinely passionate about it. So that's always great to see. Now, I was actually curious why you guys decided to build on GoChain. I actually haven't heard of this one myself personally.
Mm. I mean, at the time, when we first selected the blockchain provider, it was a very different time, so to speak, in the sense that CryptoKitties had come out. It had basically brought Ethereum to its knees, and our thinking at the time was, that if we're bringing in brands like Batman and Superman that may have millions of fans, we have to be very careful of the technology that we select. So we went with GoChain because they had, high TPS and, very low fees, which was very attractive to us at the time. But however, since then, obviously the blockchain space has changed a lot. And like all of the technologies within our app, we're always assessing what the best solutions and the best providers. So, even within our sort of blockchain offering, the NFT offering, we're more than likely going to see some upgrades and improvements there, the same ways that we'll continue to do that with all other technology within the app.
Wonderful. And this is probably the question I've wanted to ask the most is, how are you guys, you don't have to go into details, obviously, I'm sure you can't for legal reasons or whatever, but how are you guys able to get these licenses that no other companies can probably dream of getting?
Well, I mean, number one, so your fans know, one of the gentlemen who's been on the company for 3 years as well is a guy by the name of Alfred Kahn. He found a little known product in Japan called Pocket Monster, brought it back to America, rebranded it as Pokemon, and basically became the international success that you know. So Alfred Kahn is our Senior Vice President of Global Licensing. And the beauty about having Al on board is obviously he's in the Licensing Hall of Fame. He's known literally by everyone in the industry. During his career, I think he made like $1 billion a year for 25 years. Very, very accomplished gentleman. So obviously the great thing about having Al on board is that, he knows, who to speak to in the industry. So he could effectively mainline us into the right people in the licensing world. Now that was just half of the way there, when he did that, because obviously he was a big believer in what we were doing. We still had to do the pitch and do the sell job. And at the beginning, it was very difficult. It was digital collectibles, I don't know, get out of here. But, we were very persistent, very tenacious. We kept going back, probably once a quarter, would fly from, Asia or New Zealand back over to America. And every time we'd go back, the app would be, another version would be ready for them to look at. And they eventually started, seeing the opportunity. And I really give credit to the licensors that did come on with us back in the early stages, because back then, people couldn't even spell NFT. No one even knew what an NFT was. Now it's obviously almost ubiquitous in the world at the moment.
Yeah. I did not know that he was a part of your team. Is he still involved with Pokemon?
No. I think he sold his rights to Pokemon many years ago as part of his other company called 4Kids.
Okay, I'm sure there's still a solid bridge there. Who knows? Maybe down the road.
Yeah, it probably is, but I can absolutely not promise Pokemon.
Understandable.
I get asked it all the time.
Understandable, but that's awesome. Now I want to play devil's advocate a little bit. Again, I'm a supporter of NFTs, but there's a lot of people out there that don't fully understand it and they think it's kind of silly. What's your take on someone saying, "Why can't I just screenshot this and I technically own it?"
Well, I'll put it back to you. If you went into the Louvre Museum in Paris and you took a photo of the Mona Lisa and then went to Sotheby's auction house and said, "Sell this for me for $22 million because I own the Mona Lisa," what are they going to say to you?
You're out of your damn mind.
They're going to say you don't have the original and you don't have the authenticity, you don't have the ownership over that item. And ultimately, that's what NFT comes down to, is that it's ownership over a specific item. I mean, anyone can download a 3D model of this or that, but in order for that to have value, it has to have authenticity and it has to have ownership. And that's exactly ultimately what an NFT is.
Perfect. Now, could you go into a little detail on the Master Collector program? Explain to those that are not familiar with Ecomi or Vivi at all.
Sure. So just to preface, the Master Collector program is still in development, but I can give you some sort of high level understanding of what it is. And really, it's just a way for us to add, I mean, the whole app right now is super fun. Don't get me wrong. You can go in there, take photos, even just looking at all the collectibles in 3D in the store is great fun. But what we're aiming to achieve with the Master Collector is, just really a layer of sort of light gamification over the product, where you can advance up the levels of being a Master Collector. And each time you do, you'll get different access. Like, for example, the marketplace, when Master Collector comes out, you will need to be Master Collector level X before you can even sell your items or purchase items in the market. You need to earn your rights to be an active member within VeVe to participate in the secondary market. You'll get rewards, you'll get, potentially early access to products. So it's a way for us to, gamify what we're doing, but also use it as a customer retention by rewarding those users who are active on a daily basis, who are buying a lot of collectibles. And that's ultimately the sort of the concept behind the Master Collector.
And is that where the token utility of Omi comes into play, mainly with the Master Collector, and also obviously for purchasing these collectibles?
That's correct. So ultimately, right now, the utility of the Omi token is limited to purchasing digital collectibles. That's the utility of it. You can send your Omi into the app or into the web wallet. You can then convert those to gems, which are our in-app currency. And then you can use those gems to purchase your collectibles. In coming months, if you then sell your collectibles in the secondary market and you make more gems, you'll be able to convert those gems back to Omi, and then also ultimately back to fiat or potentially other cryptocurrencies as well. And in addition to that, from Q2 onwards, we'll be starting to add other token utilities such as staking, which will in some way go towards your Master Collector level potentially.
And I did see something about that you guys are, I don't know if you've done it yet or you are going to do it, buybacks and burns as well.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly right. So part of the process is that there's sort of a main wallet within the app that holds 300 billion Omi tokens. So of the 750 billion, almost 400 to 500 billion of that will actually never reach circulation. So that's one important thing to understand.
Okay.
And the idea is that obviously whenever anyone purchases an NFT on the VeVe platform, the associated Omi is burnt or sent out of circulation. And that Omi comes from an in-app wallet called the in-app reserve. And the idea of as people buy collectibles, the in-app reserve deflates and the overall token supply deflates. But in order for the in-app reserve to not run out of tokens, we have a buyback program that will ultimately top up the reserve to keep it at around that 300 billion.
Perfect. Yeah, I think a lot of people can be a little bit discouraged by seeing such a small circulating supply from the total, but I think you just explained it perfectly, is that you really have to dive in to get the full understanding of where they're at and if they're ever going to actually be coming to the circulating supply.
Yeah. And to be honest, like if you read through the white paper, that stuff is quite clearly spelled out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, what do you think, you don't have to, I know it's a little speculative, but what do you think has contributed to the incredible over 23,000% growth of the Omi token in the past 3 months? 23,000%.
Yeah,
that's unreal.
Yeah. I mean, like I've been in crypto for a long time, and sometimes stuff just goes up when it gets a high. I mean, it can be, and I guess, unfortunately, and I wish it was like marketing where, I can basically apply X amount of dollars to this, marketing tactic and then see the thing. But the crypto world is still very different because it's still controlled by, in a more decentralized fashion. So, I mean, really, all I can really put it down to is the fact that, VeVe is a cool product. It's a blockchain-based product that appeals to both mass market and to crypto users and have licenses, and it's a great experience, and the token has utility within the product. And I think because of that, it's attracted attention, and obviously attention means demand, and demand means price increase. So, for me, I could just put it down to the fact that, and I hope that it is a result of VeVe being just a cool product out there that's gaining a lot of traction.
Absolutely. I think it is. I mean, obviously probably your licensing comes into play, and obviously the overall NFT market is really hyped up right now, but
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
guys are light years ahead of the majority, and I think it's showing. And what's even more impressive is, for those that aren't familiar, the OMI token's not widely available right now. I know you guys are coming to Uniswap very shortly, but that's really impressive to see you working yourself up in the rankings off of
Mm,
where you're currently listed.
mm,
Could you explain to us a little bit about the $7 million grant you just announced for carbon neutral NFTs and what
mm.
that really even means?
Yeah. So basically, you might have seen around the media that obviously NFTs have blown up. And part of the, I guess the lashback on that was, the environmental cost of, minting NFTs. And of course, if you are on Ethereum or anything like that, any similar kind of chain, then there is some energy cost. I mean, my personal opinion is that producing something digital has a far less carbon footprint than producing plastic and then needing delivery and then storage and then plastic packaging. I mean, it's just going digital is by nature significantly greener.
Hmm.
However, we just wanted to put out that, because we work with a lot of licensors, so we wanted to put out the fact that, hey, we don't operate on that kind of chain, and our energy is significantly cheaper than what is used, and also even the way that we mint the collectibles in our platform is significantly lower. So the idea, was just to give back up to 7 million worth of OMI to, causes that, will help to offset, a carbon footprint any further.
That's great, and yeah, I honestly didn't even think of that myself. The difference in scale from, say, like Marvel action figures to everything being digital just makes absolutely sense. Um, could you, this was actually a pretty popular question from the community. What determines the number of collectibles that are created and the price of them for each? And can we see that number increase as the platform becomes more popular?
Just recently, I mean, in the beginning, we were doing a bit of trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
We were thinking, if we put it up for this, will it sell for that? And, in the early days of pricing, one of the things we really wanted to take into consideration was the value of these artists' work. Like the Batman Black and White range, anything DC, they have been sculpted in 3D by world-renowned artists and sculptors. And these products go, for $500 plus in the physical world, eBay secondary market. So, we didn't want to demean that artist's work by selling it for $9.99.
Mm-hmm.
It has inherent value because of these properties. And so in the beginning and up till a couple of weeks ago, our pricing had been a little bit random, but we have just recently, with the help of honestly, of one of the coolest guys on the planet, a guy called Jeremy Padua, who's come in. He used to own a huge toy company and really knows a lot about how to deliver, collectible models. So he's come in and he's given us some pointers. And what we've done now, based on his suggestions, is we have really a fixed kind of model now, which is that a common is always a certain price, right up to an ultra rare is always a certain price. And we have various different levels. So, for example, the Batman Black and Whites, we have our premium level pricing, and that starts at a common from $39.99 and goes up to the ultra rare, which will always be $89.99. Now, we do have one level of rarity above that, which is secret rare. And for the secret rare, we are actually able to determine the price and determine the additions that are available. Like, for example, we might decide to do a one of one for $5,000, or we might decide to do 500 for $500 each. It all really comes down to the quality and the artist of the offering. So we're going to start publishing a lot more information about that coming up. So I know it might have been a little bit confusing up till now, but we're really standardizing everything in terms of our pricing, rarity, additions. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled, in our Telegram Discord for that information to come out.
And could we possibly see customization to the showrooms themselves in the future?
I can absolutely assure you that there will be a huge range of showrooms coming, customizable showrooms. You can add accessories, anything from a pot plant to a couch to a movie, a TV on the wall, a radio may play some NFT music or it may not. Everything. We want that place to be your virtual, your 3D virtual place where you can invite your friends in. There's massive multiplayer features coming, mini games inside your showrooms, and all of this stuff exists inside the wider VVverse, which we'll be announcing, later in the year. So right now, we're purely in the content phase. We're building up all of your favorite content and all your favorite cool interactive stuff. And then you're going to be able to play with that in the VVverse.
Incredible. You sound really enthusiastic about that one.
I'm super excited, yeah. I wish we could develop faster.
Now, one of my last questions, where can we, the community, expect, what can we expect from Ecomi for the rest of 2021?
Our focus now is really just to continue on the growth that we've got now, bring out an amazing amount of content and amazing types of content. I can assure you that there are many more brand partners and licensor partners coming on board that we'll be announcing over the coming months. And it's this complete evolution of the product. Really, I think I've made it no secret. It's our mission is to absolutely dominate the space and be the Netflix. And that's what you can expect.
I love to hear that. Most of the time when I interview someone, they always want to sound like, there's no competition. We're all one. But I like the way you just said that. You guys want to be the top dog. And you'll be there soon. I'm very confident in that.
But in saying that, I'm not saying that I want to take everyone down. There'll be many different, like NBA Top Shot. Those guys have done awesome. And what they offer is a certain type of NFT digital collectible. And, we offer a certain type. So absolutely dominate in the area that we are.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say you're in your own category for sure. Could you tell us a little bit about your next drop coming up, Ultraman? For us in the United States, we're not really familiar with who that is and why he's might be relevant or not.
Absolutely, yeah. So in the same way that, us in the West know Iron Man from Marvel, in Japan and China and Asia, they know Ultraman. And Ultraman was the OG superhero from back in the 50s and 60s. What you're seeing behind me is the Ultraman anime that's actually on Netflix. And it was a really awesome series, actually. If you're into anime or manga, definitely check it out. But Ultraman from more sort of the East is extremely popular. And one little, tip for your audience is that as part of our licensing agreement, as some of your fans might know who use Vivi, we are under some region restrictions. So we have the license to sell Ultraman as digital collectibles right now outside of Japan and China. So if you sort of put two and two together, the Japanese or Chinese audience is not able to buy these, but the West is. So the only place for them to get that will be our secondary marketplace. So whether you like Ultraman or not, there are always people out there who are going to want it.
Absolutely. That's why I had my interest in it personally.
Yeah.
But that would
and also saying that the models also look, super cool and super awesome.
Absolutely. I just hopped on Vivi the other day, and I'm very excited. This will be really my first NFT experience. I've kind of never really gotten into it because, like you said, the other platforms, they have their own utility and stuff, but it's very bland. You guys, it's a whole nother level, and I'm so excited to see where you guys go moving on. Thank you so much for coming on and speaking with everyone. I'm sure the community is very thankful. If anyone wants to find out more about you guys, where can they reach you?
Definitely head over to our Telegram, which I think is _Ecomi, or if you just search for Ecomi, you'll find it. Also our Medium channel for both Ecomi and for Vivi. But if you head over to ecomi.com, you'll be able to find all of the sort of relevant links to both the Secure Wallet, Vivi, all our social channels, and so forth.
And also, of course, guys, go and download the Vivi app. You will not be disappointed. And of course, stay tuned for that March 25th drop. I know you said that it might be hard to get one. Are you able to tell us how many are going to be available? Or is that when it
Yeah, what do
drops?
we have? I mean, for most drops, most of our drops for these kind of premium, there's generally around 20,000 editions in total.
Okay.
And then they're broken down on the various rarities, which are also basic part of our new standardized model. So I think that means something like 9,000 commons, 5,500 uncommon, 3,200 rares, 1,850 ultra rares. I think it's something like that, and that's really the sort of the standard we use moving forward.
Well, I'm gonna have my buy button ready. I'm excited to try to at least get at least a comment, I guess. But thank you
Yeah,
so
they're
much.
okay. They seem to hang around for at least a day or so.
Okay, cool, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate it, guys. If you did enjoy this interview, feel free to browse around the channel and maybe consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next.